All right, welcome back everyone to another highly requested explainer. Now, if you're gearing up for competitive exams, you already know that the books and authors section of Static GK can feel like this huge, overwhelming mountain of facts to memorize. It's a lot, I know. But today, we're going to cut straight through that noise. I'm going to guide you through a high-speed, dynamic masterclass covering 31 absolute must-know books and their authors. And we're going to lock these facts into your memory using structured visual chunking. So get comfortable, get focused, and let's jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this with a cool little vocabulary word that sets the perfect mood for us today. The word is verso. It literally just means the left-hand page of an open book, or the backside of a sheet of paper. Consider this our starting point. We're officially opening the book on our ultimate study session today, turning the page past all that revision anxiety and getting straight to the clarity of learning.
You know, in Hindi, the phrase on screen translates to study from anywhere but revise from right here. And honestly, that sentiment is going to be our main anchor for this explainer. You might be pulling information from dozens of different textbooks or lectures or messy notes, but right now, for the next few minutes, we're going to consolidate all of that into a rock-solid foundation for your upcoming exams.
To make this super easy on your brain, we're using the psychological power of chunking. Here's our roadmap. 1. Leaders in their lives. 2. Sporting legends tell-all. 3. Ancient and medieval epics. And finally, 4. Modern Indian masterpieces. Grouping them like this is going to guarantee much faster retrieval when you're actually sitting in the exam hall.
Starting with Section 1, Leaders in Their Lives, History Makers in Their Own Words.
All right, before I just hand you the cheat sheet, let's test your baseline knowledge with a quick question. Who penned the globally renowned autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth? Take a second and really think about it. This is an absolutely foundational text of Indian history. If you guessed Mahatma Gandhi, you hit the nail on the head. And he's in some incredible company here. We also have former Indian President APJ Abdul Kalam, whose journey from a really humble background to becoming the missile man of India is captured beautifully in Wings of Fire. Then there's Nelson Mandela's epic long walk to freedom, which details his profound 27-year imprisonment before ending apartheid. And bringing it into more contemporary times, we have former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama's powerful memoir about finding her voice, Becoming. These 4 visionary leaders captured vastly different life experiences, and believe me, these are highly recurring names in multiple choice questions.
Moving right along to Section 2, Sporting Legends Tell All, Triumphs, Trials, and Trophies.
Let's keep that brain engaged, right? Here is another quick trivia challenge for you. Which iconic cricket legend authored the book Playing It My Way? And, as a quick hint, notice how athletes almost always use clever metaphors related to their specific sport in their book titles.
The answer is, of course, Sachin Tendulkar. And this list brilliantly illustrates that point about sports metaphors. I mean, every single title perfectly reflects the athlete's specific arena. Milkha Singh, the legendary sprinter, gives us The Race of My Life. The iconic boxer Mary Com's autobiography is just perfectly titled, Unbreakable. Tennis star Sania Mirza serves up Ace Against Odds. We've got the golden girl herself, P.T. Usha. And finally, cricketer Yuvraj Singh's deeply moving battle with cancer is chronicled in The Test of My Life. Lock these 6 pairs into your memory, guys, because the titles themselves are literally your clues.
Okay, on to Section 3, Ancient and Medieval Epics, the Roots of Knowledge.
Before we really dive into this part, a quick strategic note for you. If you're targeting upcoming 2026 exams, like the SSGD for example, this specific historical chunk is where examiners absolutely love to test your depth. This is the core of Static GK, so pay very, very close attention to these next few facts. So the crucial point here is that these ancient masters weren't just writing entertaining stories, they were documenting the very foundations of civilization. We have Kautilya, who gave us the ultimate, somewhat ruthless treatise on statecraft and economics, the Arthashastra. The Greek traveler Megasthenes recorded the sheer wonders of India in Indica. Vishnu Sharma used the timeless animal fables of the Panchavatantra to actually teach young princes how to rule. Panini effectively coded the massive complexities of Sanskrit grammar in the Ashtadhyayi, and Ashwagosha chronicled the epic life of the Buddha in the Buddhacharita. These 5 are just absolute pillars of ancient literature.
Building right on top of those foundations, we have the legendary poets and biographers who immortalized entire eras. Kalidasa, who is essentially the Shakespeare of Sanskrit, gave us Abhinyana Shakuntalam and Meghaduta. Banabhate gave us a literal front-row seat to King Harsha's reign in the Harshacharya. If you want the definitive history of Kashmir, you read Kalhana's Raj Tarangini. Then, of course, we have the beautiful romantic poetry of Jayadeva's Geet Govinda, Tulsidas's epic devotion in the Ramcharitmanas, and Chand Bardai's Prithviraj Raso, which captures some truly thrilling martial bravery.
All right, stepping into the medieval period, let's take a look at the Mughal era. Now, examiners love to test your ability to distinguish between these two massive works, so let's make it easy. On one side, we have the Humayun Nama, the biography of Emperor Humayun. What's super unique about this one is that it was written by a woman of the royal household, his sister, Gulbadan Begum. Now, contrast that with the Akbarnama and its detailed accompanying volume, the Aini Akbari. That one was meticulously authored by the emperor's official court historian, Abul Fazl. Keeping this structural contrast in mind is absolutely going to save you from a tricky multiple-choice trap.
Just to clean up the final pieces of our medieval chunk, you'll want to flag these two vital texts. First up is al-Biruni's Kitab-u-Hind, which is this sweeping, critical outsider's record of 11th century Indian science, culture, and religion. And then we have the epic poem Padmavat, beautifully crafted by the Sufi poet Malik Muhammad Jayasi.
And finally, Section 4, Modern Indian Masterpieces, Shaping the Contemporary Mind.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is we're moving out of ancient records and into globally recognized, award-winning fiction. Let's see if you know this one. Who authored the highly acclaimed modern novel, The God of Small Things?
The author of that phenomenal book is Arundhati Roy. And right alongside her, you absolutely must know Aravinda Diga for his gripping, really raw look at class dynamics in The White Tiger. There's also Khushwant Singh's devastating and essential partition novel, Train to Pakistan. And we can't possibly forget R.K. Narayan, who essentially built an entire fictional universe with Malgudi Days and The Guide. If you get a question on contemporary Indian fiction, there's a very, very high probability the answer is going to involve one of these modern giants.
Okay, we are rounding out our list of 31 with two monumental texts by figures who literally shaped the modern nation. First is India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, who penned the sweeping historical overview, The Discovery of India, and remarkably, he wrote it while he was imprisoned. And finally, Rabindranath Tagore, author of Gitanjali. That's a poetry collection so incredibly profound it made him the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature.
And boom, just like that, using the power of structured visual chunking, we have marched through 31 crucial authors and their works, from ancient statecraft all the way to modern memoirs. You are now vastly more prepared for that exam. But I do want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. We look at these titles as data points to memorize, right? But every single one of these books contains an entire universe of human experience, struggle, and triumph. So my question to you is, beyond just getting the marks on the exam, which of these 31 masterpieces has sparked your curiosity enough to actually pick it up and read it on your own time? Think about it. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.